Hi, welcome back to Blog Fix Friday. Blog Fix Friday is where I share a quick blogging tip or trick that will make your blogging life easier. Now today I wanted to talk about making meaningful connections online. So I've just come back from a blogging conference and a couple of people said that they felt like the new kid at school. So obviously that wasn't an online thing, but it had come from an online situation that we're all in. And I think that for me there's nothing better than the connections that I've made as a blogger, and I just wanted to record this to show other people that if they keep going it will happen to them too. So don't feel like the new kid at school, or if you do, realise that it's only going to be a transitional phase, that eventually you won't be anymore, that you'll be just as involved in the community as everyone else appears to be to you. So for me, I've met so many friends that are genuinely sort of close personal friends now online, and I think that as a newbie you can feel like you're being left out, or not that you're being left out, but that you are on the outside. So I wanted to say a few tips basically of how I would make meaningful connections online and how I would try and nurture those connections. So the first thing is just to be authentic. So be authentic, be you. You will find your people if you are you. If you try and be someone else, you're not going to find your people, because you're going to find someone else's people, aren't you? So keep on, only you can be you. That is the unique thing you have. That is your USP. So be you, keep going, be authentic, and that will shine through. Keep showing up. So whether it's going to events or whether it's chatting on Twitter or in a Facebook group, keep showing up, keep being yourself, and eventually it will work. People will start to listen, people will recognise your name, people will recognise what you have to say and what you're all about, and it will make the difference, and then the connections start happening. So leaving genuine comments anywhere, so on people's blogs but also in conversations anywhere on social media. Think about what you're saying and be genuine about it. So we can all get stuck in the nice post or whatever, but try and have the time to, at least write a more meaningful comment that means a lot to the person that is reading it. My best friend left many meaningful comments on my blog when I didn't know her, and it made a difference because she stood out, and we had a connection from those comments, and then we had a connection in real life as well when we met. So it makes a difference. I think also focus on your why. Why do you blog? What is, if you had to write an elevator pitch, so a 2-line pitch about you and your blog and what it's all about, what would it be? And then think about how to make sure that is evident in your interactions online. So if you're all about kindness and love and gratitude, then people don't really expect you to be effing and jeffing on Twitter, because it kind of jars against what you're about. So it's not saying don't do that, but just think about what you do and what you're trying to project and what you're trying to portray. Make sure it kind of all matches up, because otherwise it can seem a little disingenuous. So focus on that why, make sure it's evident in all your connections. I say be generous, so give more than people expect to receive. Without a doubt, that's the most important thing, I think, as a person, not just a blogger. But always give more than someone expects to receive, because it makes the difference and it makes you stand out. And nurture those connections. So the connections that you make, nurture them. They're friendships, even if they're just in the initial stages, they're still friendships that can be beautiful friendships. So check in with the people that support you, retweet their stuff, make a list. Actually, if someone stands out to you, make a list of that, put them on a list so that you'll remember, because we can all get caught in a sea of people and tweets, but if someone actually says something that you think is really genuine, write them down so that you don't forget and that you don't lose that connection. And if they do stand out, then go and nurture that connection. Do something back for them. Keep your ideal reader in mind. So it goes back to a little bit about making sure things match up. So we should all have our ideal. Who are we writing for? We should be writing for someone else. We shouldn't necessarily just be writing for ourselves. So create a picture of this ideal reader. If she's a she, give her a name, give her an age group, what does she want to read about, and then make sure what you're saying is what she would want to hear. take things offline. So if you can go to a conference, or if you can organise a picnic in the park, or a meet down the local pub, if you're close to any local bloggers, then do that. The connections taken offline end up being the best connections that you can have. Not to say that you can't have strong ones otherwise. I'm really close to a few people that blog and are based in Australia, so for Mac and some other people that are just, I know that I would get on really well with them if I met them. Mim, Mac, they're all N's, but they're in Australia. So not that it can't happen, but I would love to meet those ladies. So Mim and Mac, if you want me to come over to Australia, then I'll happily come. And in Facebook groups, go into Facebook groups, use those groups to make these connections. So not just to promote your blog post, but make the connections that make a difference. So build up your tribe by being you and showing up, and don't stop showing up until it's made a difference. And just the overriding thing on everything is be a good person. That shines through. If you're a whinger or a moaner all the time, we can all have days where we whinge and moan, but it's not appealing. Nobody wants to read that all the time. So be a good person, be you, keep showing up, and eventually these connections will become more and more and more meaningful, until you're at the point that I am, that they're the most meaningful connections that you have, apart from your family, in your life. So I hope that's helped, and I've been Abby, and this is Blog Fix Friday, and I'll catch you next Friday for more blogging tips and advice. Bye!